I'm Curt Nelson, Director of the Royals Hall of Fame, and we are here in the house that Buck built, and I'm here with the president of the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, Bob Kendrick. And Bob, you know that Buck is going into the National Baseball Hall of Fame on July 24th. It's sort of the end of the journey. Let's talk about his journey to Cooperstown.
The road to Cooperstown for Buck O'Neil began in Carrabelle, Florida, before the lure of professional baseball took him to the Memphis Red Sox in 1937.
Now, there is a story that goes with, Buck hit for the cycle in Memphis, but it was only the second highlight of his day.
Easter Sunday, Memphis, Tennessee, as you said, he would hit for the cycle. And later that evening, Buck walks right over to a young lady, introduced himself. "My name is Buck O'Neil, what's yours?" That was Ora Lee Owens. So he hit for the cycle and met his future wife of 51 years. I'd say that that's a pretty good day.
That is a good day. Talk about his coming to Kansas City and some of those big events that happened while he was here.
Well, when he came to Kansas City in 1938 to join the great Kansas City Monarchs, he said that I knew that I was coming to the heart of America. I never knew I was coming to the center of the universe, because 18th and Vine was indeed the center of the universe.
So his next stop after his days in Kansas City on his baseball journey was really in Chicago. And there he lands with the Chicago Cubs, and he signed some significant players as a scout.
Yeah, he signed a few guys you likely have heard their name before. Ernie Banks, Lou Brock, Lee Smith, all in the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Most of the significant African-American players of that era that the Cubs had, Buck O'Neil was responsible for them being there. Buck would go on to become the Major's first African-American coach, 1962, with the Chicago Cubs.
After Chicago, he comes back to Kansas City, and of course spends some time working for the Royals, but really just becomes one of, if not the greatest Kansas Citian in history. Talk about his connection to Kansas City coming back.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. When we look back at the legacy of Buck O'Neil, he will rank as one of the most significant Kansas Citians of all time.
All right, so we've talked about this journey. Now we're here in Kansas City, and this is Buck's hometown, and he had some favorite places in his hometown. Let's go see them. All right, Bob, it's an important place. This is the Buck O'Neil Education Center.
Yes, it is. This very building at 1824 Purcell is where Andrew Root Foster led a group of 8 independent black baseball team owners into a meeting. And on February 13, 1920, they walked out having established the Negro National League.
Look at this. It's 22nd Brooklyn. It's got houses on it now, but it once was the site of a ballpark.
And it was a site that so much baseball history was made, but no one made more history there than the great Kansas City Monarchs.
It's hallowed ground.
It is very hallowed ground.
Buck certainly was there a lot.
Yes.
And that really goes into what is now at Kauffman Stadium, and has been since we lost Buck, and he wasn't able to sit in his own seat.
The Buck O'Neil Legacy Seat, to recognize ordinary people who do extraordinary things to help others in our community. That is Buck O'Neil. And as you well know, people look at sitting in Buck's seat as a tremendous honor.
So think about it, the journey. It's a full journey now.
Oh, it's a journey. As I mentioned, he gave tirelessly the last 16 years of his life to establish, to grow, and sustain this great museum, and it's only fitting that he will now go in the Hall of Fame, and we use that as an opportunity to continue to do what Buck had done from day one for this institution.